In this video, you're gonna find out how you can process your hi-hats properly for your tech house or your house music tracks, because I personally believe that the hi-hats are a very, very important element, and if you don't manage to actually process your hi-hats properly, you're gonna have problems in the whole overall mix, because it's the same with your bass. If the bass sounds weak, the whole track sounds weak. If the kick sounds weak, your whole track sounds weak. If the hi-hats are weak as well, you have this thing that something is missing. And I'm going to teach you in this video today how exactly to process your hi-hats, how to make them sound crispy, how to make them sound pleasing for your ears, so your tech house music sounds proper complete. Before I start this video, my name is David Fürtz. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out any music production tutorials in tech house or in house music. Make also sure to go on my Spotify and check out the new tracks I released the last few weeks with the record labels. I'm really excited about that. There's also heaps of new tracks coming up the following weeks, so make sure you check that out, and let's get straight into the video. So guys, we're here again in FL Studio, and I created a very basic, unique, very simple bass pattern with a few drums. You can see here hi-hats are playing claps. I'm just gonna play it. So this basically doesn't sound that bad. I definitely hear a few things I want to do with my hi-hats. So the first thing I'm going to do is obviously getting the levels right. If the hi-hat is playing way too loud in the mix, it hurts the ears. If it's way too quiet, obviously, it sounds like it's out of balance. The clap is then too loud, and then if you, basically it doesn't really sound pleasing. So I'm just bring it down, the volume down, and then bring the volume slightly up to make sure that the volumes are right. I would say this sounds pretty good. Then what I can also hear is the second step is cut out frequencies which are unpleasing for your ears, okay? And it depends basically on what kind of hi-hat you're using, but basically what I have to tell you is that sometimes there are specific hi-hats that you can basically just hear that there's a frequency which is hurting the ear if the hi-hat is too loud. So let's go on the Techno Master pack, let's go on the hi-hats, and I'm just gonna show you a few hi-hats, and you're gonna hear that some hi-hats sound actually quite nice, but some have this like it's almost hurting in your ear. You need to like increase the volume of your studio headphones right now, and you're gonna hear exactly what I'm talking about. This is one, for example. I can hear it hurting a little bit as well. This one, hi-hat number 11, hurts a lot in my ears. That definitely needs processing. That as well. Ouch. That's an easy one. Super close, doesn't hurt at all. So basically, yeah, let's go back to the pattern. So this hi-hat I use, when I had it louder, I can hear that it's hurting my ear. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna try to find the frequencies which are too loud or which are hurting the ear. What we're gonna do is I'm basically using 2 fingers on my MacBook, scrolling up, and then I'm looking for the frequency when, like, I'm gonna swipe up and down here on the spectrum. I'm gonna find that frequency which is hurting a lot. This one sounds a bit unpleasing, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this thing down like that, okay? Sounds a bit better. The reason why we do it like that, not like that, is because obviously if we do it like that, we're gonna cut down a lot of frequencies what we want to keep in the hi-hat. So we're gonna just look for those little frequencies like that. We're gonna look for another one, because I have the feeling there's another one somewhere hidden. Actually, no, that's pretty much it. So this is the frequency I definitely want to cut out. Then the next thing, guys, is it depends obviously on your track you're producing, but what I really like to add is stereo width. So I'm using the plugin Relay, which makes the hi-hat, it pans it to both sides, so it has more stereo width, but also just slightly. That sounds definitely better. Then the next step what I'm doing usually is I'm using a saturation. We can use a saturation knob, for example. That's definitely a free plugin. What doesn't exist in my software because of whatever reason right now. Then the other plugin I would definitely recommend to you guys is called the Decapitator. This is more a pricey plugin, but you can use this saturation tool in everything. Literally, I can just recommend you can use it. There's even presets for your bass, for your drums. We can even go on this one so we can see if there's something which sounds nice to us. Let's just try a few presets from the Decapitator to the hi-hat. Interesting. I like this one. So obviously the kind of preset you're going to choose depends on the track you're producing, depends on what kind of vibe you want to create. And I think I really like this one here. Let's listen to it without it. There isn't really a big difference, to be really honest. I like this one though. I want a bit more drive. So definitely saturation is a big thing. Then another thing is it depends as well again on the track you're using, but I have this open hi-hat channel already assigned to the drum reverb channel. So the only thing I have to do is just doing this. And then I can add a reverb to the hi-hats. I have here the Fruity Reverb 2 installed on 100% wet, and also the Valhalla Supermassive. And then obviously you can play with the delay, with the decay of the reverb. So definitely you can add some reverb to that. And the last thing, what is really important, I think, for hi-hats is the right compression. So now it depends definitely on what kind of effect you want to create. I have installed here the Fruity Limiter. Okay, sometimes if you have a hi-hat and it's not as punchy, it's not as powerful as this one right now, there's a technique I can show you which make it even more powerful. So basically you just go in the compression section here, put the threshold down to until it's catching the hi-hat. What you're going to do then is put the release to almost nothing, like let's say to literally 1.5 to 2 milliseconds. And then you don't put the ratio down, you don't compress it, you up compress it. You make it like that. Hear the difference. That was obviously a bit too much, but with this technique you can make every hi-hat sound more, like literally punch you more in your face, like a powerful tech house track. And obviously if you want to create the opposite effect, you don't put the ratio on 1 to 1.2, you put it obviously on 3 to 1 or something like that. And again here, there's no set in stone rule. You have to find out yourself, how long should the release time be? How much ratio do I want to do? I want to compress absolutely everything out of it? Or do I want to just compress a tiny bit so you can't really hear the difference? So yeah, as I said, there's no set in stone rule. Find for yourself what exactly sounds good in this context with the track you're producing. So yeah, those are my techniques how to process your hi-hat properly in your tech house track. Make also sure that you check out my music on Spotify. I released a few tracks with some record labels, what I'm really excited about. I really worked hard on those tracks, so make sure you give it a listen to it. Also, if you're a DJ, download those tracks, play to some people and see if they like dancing to it. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day, enjoy producing music, and I hope I could help you a little bit.